These modern cities are today's Sodom and Gomorrah, and I'm afraid you might be living in one of them. San Francisco historically has been known for its innovation, tech revolutions like Apple, and its cultural freedom, but in recent times that has completely changed as the city has degraded and really has become ground zero for sexual revolution and aggressive deconstruction of biblical values, as if open rebellion against God's design for marriage was not enough to add in laws that completely suppress biblical truth under the banner of hate speech. This city clearly reflects Sodom and Gomorrah in both spirit and pride, and not to mention the wealth inequality as San Francisco is terrible as homelessness continues to rise in the city, and this reflects Sodom and Gomorrah's neglect for the poor. It's honestly quite sad how San Francisco has really become a former shell of itself. But if you think that's bad, you won't believe how worse this next city is, and that is Los Angeles. The land known for dreams and entertainment, the place where aspiring actors, artists, athletes, musicians, etc. go to fulfill their dreams. But behind all of that Hollywood stuff is really nothing but just a culture obsessed with fame, money, idolatry, lust, vanity, and rebellion against God.
Speeches have been on fire. Who got shouted out the most? Let's look at the numbers. All right,
look at this.
Cast and crew are leading the way with 11 mentions. Moms are holding strong with 3 shout-outs. God, creator of the universe, 0 mentions.
Wow.
And Mario Lopez, host of Access Hollywood, 1.
Mocking God.
All right.
Mocking God.
No surprise in this godless town.
The next day after.
As high as 99 miles per hour fueled new destructive wildfires in Los Angeles.
The city of Los Angeles reflects Sodom and Gomorrah's obsession with idolatry and intense desire to celebrate what is wicked. You will not meet anybody, I repeat, anyone in Hollywood who is truly a godly person. Now, are there some genuine Christians in Hollywood? Maybe, and that's being quite optimistic, because here's the truth. To make it in Hollywood, you have to compromise something. The Bible in the book of Matthew chapter 16 verse 26 says, "For what will it profit a man if he gains the whole world and forfeits his soul?" And it's not just a conjunction, it is also a cause and effect. So the verse is really saying that in order to gain something, you must lose something first. And the truth of the matter is that Los Angeles is mostly filled with people who are obsessed with the world at the expense of their soul. Moving on to one of my personal favorites, the next city on the list is New York City. Now, you've probably heard this mantra of New York City before, and that is, it is the city that never sleeps. And as someone who was born and raised in New York, I can attest to this. And having not lived there for 10 years, I can strongly say I do not miss it a bit. I still visit the city from time to time, and I can say that New York City over the past years has honestly gotten worse. Crime has increased, homelessness has been on the rise. The city now is just really one large dumpster fire. Like, literally. I mean, look how dirty this place is. It blows my mind that people still live here. However, this all goes back to a deeper issue, the one that I believe reflects Sodom and Gomorrah perfectly, and that is every group, I mean every single group, from religious movements to social clubs to cultural groups to activist tribes, they all run on the same mentality, and that is be like us, think exactly like us, speak like us, or you don't belong. Sodom and Gomorrah was a city that was not very welcoming to outsiders or visitors. And we see this when the angels come to visit Lot, and they are straight up harassed by these men who are trying to sleep with them. I don't know if you've met a New Yorker before, but New Yorkers are some of the most nicest people that you're ever going to meet. And yes, I am being very sarcastic. This next city honestly shocked me, and I still can't believe that it's on this list, and that is Amsterdam. From the outside, the city really looks beautiful, and the kind of architecture that the city has is quite impressive. So from the surface level, the city just really looks like your typical tourist attraction, until you realize that Amsterdam is also a place where you can walk past a 300-year-old church, and right across the street there is a prostitution business going on. I mean, the city literally has a place dedicated to prostitution. This city is really no different than Sodom, as they have one thing in common: they never call sin for what it is, and instead they normalize it. Next up on the list is Bangkok, and honestly, it feels strange kind of talking about this one, because the tourism industry here is literally built on lust. It's not like just a small part of the city, it's the brand. When people think of Bangkok, they're not thinking of, I heard they have some nice food down there and they have some good museums. No, like they're thinking of the nightlife, red light districts, and adult entertainment. And don't even get me started on the other things. Yes, the unspeakable things that happens behind closed doors that I can't really talk about. You know, this is honestly sad, because the city itself is actually beautiful. Like, I was looking at images earlier of the city and I was like, wow, like this city actually looks nice, but it has been so perverted by lust that, just like Sodom, lust was one of the major problems that ran rampant in the city. And the final one on the list is Tokyo. When it comes to Tokyo, similar to Amsterdam, it is another city that from the outside it looks innovative, beautiful, vibrant, but beneath the surface lies the same core issue found in many of these modern cities, and that is open rebellion against God. However, when it comes to the rebellion in Tokyo, it is very different compared to these other cities, and I would even argue that it is probably the most dangerous type of rebellion. If we go back to our verse in Ezekiel chapter 16 verses 49, it tells us something that Sodom did that was equally as bad as the other things that they did, and that was that Sodom was unconcerned. Sodom was careless. This is the same thing with Tokyo, is that the city of Tokyo just doesn't care about God. Now, these other cities, of course, clearly don't care about God, but the city of Tokyo is really a perfect example of apathy. So while you might not see prostitution centers, you know, in the corners and that kind of stuff in the city, you also are probably not going to find many churches as well. You're also not going to see God in many areas in this city as well. That would do it for today. Let me know what city I should cover next, or any other video topic that you want me to address. Till then, take care.